Hello, I'm Stephen C. Campbell. Welcome to this video in which I will go over the complete product service marketplace development framework. So we're going to go over the product service marketplace development. Then we'll talk about the marketing of the product and service. We're going to be touching on digital marketing, which is so important, and it's a strategic consulting approach, and we're talking about executing for the marketplace. That's me during a recent seminar I ran for some business owners. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to cover category marketing, market segmentation, channel marketing, ideal client profiling, pricing, supply and demand, brand equity, and the digital marketing component of communicating the value proposition to the end user client, and also delivering products and services via the digital marketing channel. And on top of all this, we're going to talk about mindset as appropriate to be able to effectively implement these fundamentals within the marketing strategy consulting framework. So here's a visual representation of what we're going to cover. This is the complete framework map which I've developed over the years in working with corporations and small businesses and local councils. And I've put everything down in one graphic so during seminars customers can see exactly where we're moving with this. So that's the framework which you're going to come back and refer to. So with that said, let's go. We're starting from here, moving across categories, channels, market segments. We're going to talk about ideal client profiling, search engine marketing, which is this component and this component here, pricing, and branding. So here we go. Let's go. So first of all, we're talking about category marketing. And on the graphic, we have the example of cars. So what we want to do as we work together is to continue to think about categorizing specific products or services. So all products and services fit within a particular marketing category. So what we'll be looking to do is to correctly define this. Market categories correlate to various other parameters such as marketing channels, segments, and pricing. So for example, cars, in our example, come in different marketing categories. Here we have sports utility vehicles, multi-purpose vehicles, soft-top convertibles, hard-top convertibles, 4x4s, hatchbacks, and mini cars, for example. So consider the marketing message that will be developed for cars that fit into specific marketing categories. And consider the various marketing categories that your products and services fit within. So here's the point. This is a moving thing. Moving component of the overall marketing strategy framework. The car manufacturers now, just consider this, they're developing a marketing message for someone driving a 2-seater sports car. And they're developing a message for someone driving the mother going on a school run every day in her sports utility vehicle with the children. They're both cars, but these cars fit within different categories of the market. That's the key point we want to bring up into focus. And the marketing message that you develop and deliver is different. So we want to bring this back to your organization's products and services, whether it's, for example, you're into real estate, you're estate agent, and you're selling properties. Are you selling flats or apartments that sell for £100,000, or are you selling penthouses that sell for £1 million or £2 million? The marketing message is different. If you're a recruitment consultant, what type of clients do you place? Do you place telemarketing clients that run for, I don't know, £100 a day? Or do you place executives that charge £500 a day, for example? To attract these clients into your organization require a different marketing message because they fit within different categories of the market. This is one component that we will be focusing on. And the next is from category marketing, we're moving on. So category marketing now is talking about the product and or service. We shift over to the other side of the spectrum to talk about market segmentation. That is defining specific sections of the market that we're going to be communicating to. Segments could be business to business or business to consumer. But that would be the main thing. One of the main things to start talking about is, are we selling to other businesses or are we selling directly to the end user consumer? And we have some examples here. In terms of business to business, we could be targeting marketing geographies. For example, we could be saying we want to sell our products and services into India, for example. Of course, there's a huge consumer base there, but we could just focus on selling to a distributor, and that distributor could then take care of the business to consumer component. This could be our top level marketing strategy, and we're happy with that. And we're looking at finding the right distributors to take our products to the end user. We could be looking to sell to businesses within a particular revenue range. For example, suppose our product or service cost £50,000 for one unit. Then, of course, if we find businesses which are doing £50,000, it's probably unlikely that they're going to want to buy, that they're going to be able to, well, they can't buy 10 because 10 of our £50,000 products or service would be half a million. So in this case, we'd be looking for companies with specific revenue ranges, or in specific industries. We may have a product or service that actually fits with the can be used in different industries, and there's different ways to cut this business to business, because there could be different layers of business to business. For example, one company could sell to smaller companies. It's still B2B, so we could go to the top level company and they can take care of the other layers, or we could bypass the top level distributors and go directly to the next tier of companies, and we may be able to get our marketing message more directly communicated to those companies, and we may be able to realize higher revenues. So this is another component within market segmentation. In terms of business to consumer, we could be just talking about earnings potential. For example, we could be selling designer suits. We could be selling furniture for homes. And we could be looking to sell pieces of furniture that sell for £2,000 a pop. In this case, why not segment the market by people earning £100,000, for example? Because if you're selling something that sells for £2,000, of course, if someone is earning £20,000, of course they could buy it, but more likelihood of that people earning £100,000 would be more readily available to buy your £2,000 products. Gender's another one. For example, if you're selling women's clothing or underwear or something like that, or men's shaving material. Marital status, for example, you could be talking about something to do with children or schooling, and it may well prove beneficial to segment the market by marital status, whether someone's divorced or married or going to be married, for example. This is where the digital marketing can come into play, where we could use Facebook, for example, to find people who are engaged or going to be married, for example. Or ethnicity could be one. Skincare comes to mind. Different types of hair products come to mind, which could be targeted for different ethnicities. So this is market segmentation, and again, this is a moving and rolling process. So within the consulting, we work together. We'll be working on different components within the framework, but this is one which we will be touching on. So that's category marketing and market segmentation. And the next component is channel marketing. I say this connects the categories with the segments. And here's some examples of marketing categories. Now, bear in mind that marketing channels may readily be divided into two fundamentals. One is to communicate the value proposition of the company to the end user customer. And the other is to deliver products and services to the end user client. Get those. They're both marketing channels. Now, of course, to deliver products and services to the end user client, companies will have to digitize products. And when you do this, you can provide customers with immediate access. One strategy could be to digitize products and services. They pay, they get immediate access, and then we can follow up with a physical version of that product. Or you could just provide just complete digital. Obviously, if you're buying a car, you have to physically touch and get in the car. But now with technology, you can give people a real good feel of the look of the car, inside the car, the components, the stitching of the leather, the steering wheel, the dashboard layout, the boot, the engine. Everything can be digitized in video, for example. You have a full video explanation of the product and service of the car, for example. And one thing you could do, you could get customers to log into a membership site, and within the membership site, the digitized display of the car, for example, could be there, and then you have a list then of people who've opted in to look at the car. This could be, of course, we probably talking about a car which costs a substantial amount, maybe £100,000 or etc. And then you would have these people within your database, and then you could follow up with these people later on to say, well, look, you looked at the product. We could see that you viewed our videos. And then you can follow up by phone or email as appropriate. Real estate also comes to mind, where I know of one person who bought an apartment in New York. He wasn't in New York, but had a full video 360 representation and display and work around the apartment, and made a purchase. So I know lots of real estate agents are doing, lots of images, but video was a great way to do this by digitizing the product, and would really give customers a real good feel of the product or service before they purchase. Other things to do with training material, for example, you can digitize the training material. Customers can buy the course. They could consume the material, and then when they turn up in the classroom, they will be more familiar. Or the other way around, they can come up in the classroom, go through the training material, and then it will be available in the digitized version for them. This is the actual delivery of the product or service. In terms of the actual communicating of the product or service, digital marketing has become foundational within the marketing mix. And we'll talk about that in more detail later on. But in terms of marketing channels, we could see distribution is one. We touched on this before when we spoke about the segmentation of the market. But you could just sell to distributors. The distributors themselves, for example, could sell to retail stores. You could sell to distributors. They could sell to the corner shops, or you could go directly to the corner shops. We'll talk about digital later on. A home catalog is still doing really great, where the company in question is documenting all of their products and services and delivering catalogs. People could sit through the catalogs in the comfort of their homes and then just order at their leisure. And huge teleshopping, where you have channels which are just dedicated completely just to selling, and people sit down and just watch. It just comes to mind is the sports channels, for example. There are channels on TV which just talk about the latest sports programs, sporting events, and it's amazing that it's a whole industry within itself. So that's channel marketing. So before we move on to the next component, just consider channel marketing, and we want to say it's about communicating the company's value proposition and also delivery of the products and services of the organization to the end user. So that's one thing that we really want to focus in on and really getting this defined as we look to get the most out of providing value to the marketplace. And in line with market segmentation, we have our ideal client profiling process. And I just have a representation of this here. This works in line with the segment of the market identified above. And there are three main fundamentals to consider: the decision maker, the purchaser, and the consumer. And let's just say that they may or not be the same person. And these need to be factored into the outbound marketing strategy, development, and execution. Why? Because, as is often the case, the effort is put into the consumer, and it may be that we want to be focused on the decision maker, and they in turn will communicate with the purchaser, and the consumer may not have any say in the purchasing or decision making, or they could be the same person. So we really want to sit down, get our market research data together, and make sure we really understand these three fundamentals before we go out and pushing our marketing message through to the market. Another thing we want to really talk about and consider is that of pricing, supply, and demand. So what I've done here is gone back to my textbooks, and here we have the simple sloping economics demand curve. And look what we have here. We have price in here. This is higher we go, the higher the price. Higher we go, the higher the price. And over here, we have the quantity, sloping demand curve. So I'm saying uniqueness of product or service. So, well, I've taken the economics demand curve and I've applied this to marketing, and say that what we want to do, we want to make sure our uniqueness of products or service is not high in quantity, that it's low in quantity, and then we will go up to the demand curve, bounce off the sloping demand curve, and we end up with a higher price. So if our product is not easily replicable, then it means that we can charge a premium and the value to the marketplace is higher. If we're a Me Too product, if they could go easily and find what we're offering anywhere, then by definition, by the laws of economics, then we will end up with a lower price. So we say we want to focus on developing niche, unique products and services that are not easily replicable. We want to develop client solutions, combination of products and services, building monthly programs, sell packages, client solutions, and we want to build in price inelasticity of products and services. For example, we want to say that if we put our price up, we want to make sure that our products and services are not price dependent, that we're not just selling based upon price. We're not just trying to say, okay, look, we're going to sell it cheap so you can buy. We want them to be buying the products and services based upon the solutions and the uniqueness of the product and service. So here's one thing that we'll be working on as we look to move forward with the marketing consulting strategy program as we work together. That's pricing, supply and demand. The next is brand equity. And again, there are some components within brand equity here. We have the brand equity, which ties into the products and service, which in turn links to market research, because we won't develop our brand, we should not be developing our brand independent of what's happening within the market, which ends up within a specific product or service. So there's four main components that I like to focus on. There are many more in terms of brand equity, but I want to, at the outset, focus on awareness and associations, and then perceived quality and customer loyalty. So we want to strengthen the equity of the brand and provide the company. And when we strengthen the equity of the brand, we provide the company, the organization with options within the marketplace. So at the outset, we want to focus on building awareness with target market customers, as well as with other suppliers within the marketplace. We want to build our associations. Of course, there are opportunities for joint venture partnerships within the marketplace, joint promotions. There are influencers within the marketplace. We want to build the awareness and associations. And of course, the digital marketing aspect is very instrumental in this, as well as standard phone and actually talking to people at networking events, for example. As as traction is gained, we can look to strengthen customer loyalty for repeat purchases as well as referral business, and the quality of the solutions have a bearing on the overall strength of the associated brand. So to bear in mind, brand equity, very important concept as we look to build our company and to provide excellence within the marketplace. And what I'll be doing is pulling out a separate component within the framework of digital marketing. And within digital marketing, I like to focusing on the search engine marketing aspect and break it down into digital marketing sub-channels. And as we would have already spoken about market segments, we can see here, as we know, that different market segments sit at the end of different channels. So within the digital marketing realm itself, we have different sub-channels. And at the end of these sub-channels, different market segments actually sit. And it's our job to figure out, for example, we certainly can't do everything. And there are certain channels, I'll say Snapchat, for example. It's like the company may set up their Snapchat channel and putting all this effort into it. Well, if your target market segment doesn't sit at the end of the Snapchat channel, then why do it? Unless we've identified specifically that we want to build some association awareness within a particular digital sub-channel, we will focus on the main digital sub-channels that's going to connect with our market segment. And there are some tools that we will use to help us to effect this. This is the search engine marketing component, where we have the company website here at the center. And we want to show here that the internet is a huge, big, expanding entity. And we have blogging, images, videos, social media, articles, and email all around the internet. And the likelihood of someone finding us in these places are higher than finding us here on our website. If they don't know about us, when they know about us, they will go directly to our website. So what we want to do is to make sure that we're present on these different digital sub-channels. Articles, for example, articles are very important in search engine marketing, because within each article, for example, we would have a link, and links will be spidered by the search engines, and this will contribute to the ranking of our company website. And this can get very technical, but it's a very important component when we look to communicate within the digital realm. So specific focus is dedicated to the development of digital marketing strategies, and we want to keep in mind the channel marketing perspective. We use keyword research as a foundation for content development, which in turn is used across search and social. So we talk about content development, for example, all this blogging and images and videos and social and articles. This is not done by blind chance. Should not be done by blind chance. We use keyword research, which tells us what customers have been typing into the search engines that relate to our products and services. We use the output of this research to develop articles and content as appropriate, and we push this content through the different digital sub-channels through to our end user market segments. This is defined strategic digital marketing in order to promote our products and services. Remember that search engine marketing is permission based, because we already know that customers have typed something into the search engines because we've looked at our keyword research. And what we want to do is that these people will find the content because they've already said, I'm looking to hire a recruitment consultant or a real estate agent or a beauty cosmetic surgeon. Is permission based. And then what we want to do, we want to nurture them through what we call a marketing funnel, which we'll touch on briefly in a short while. This is search engine marketing aspect. Now, in terms of social, with conversations, groups, and associations, we use social media to further segment the market, build the equity of the brand, which pushes them through the marketing funnel, which culminates in sales and generates revenues. So this is what we'll be working on, the digital marketing component, as we look to develop a complete strategy, and things are written down and documented, so we actually know we have a plan that we're working to on a daily basis in terms of taking our business forward. An overview of digital. Remember, it's from a channel marketing perspective. It fits into the categories and the market segmentation. So the channel marketing fits in the middle, and it fits into the category marketing and also the market segmentation. And channel marketing comes from a product service delivery aspect and also a marketing communication aspect. From marketing communication aspect, we're talking about search and social. They're two separate things, and we split them into two. We do both of them. They both sit upon a foundation of keyword research. With the keyword research, we develop content, and we push the content out through articles, blogs, websites, videos, microblogging, and many, many, many others, all focusing back, as we said before, to the company website. In terms of product service delivery, typically we could look to develop membership sites, portals, content delivery portals, what customers will have to sign up to with a name and an email address. This could still be free, but this is a great way to build a customer database of customers who have actually signed up to take on our free content, for example. A summary of the digital aspect of it. As we said before, what we want to do is capture customers through search and social and push them through a marketing funnel. So we want to bring prospective customers to company website pages. This could also be pages within the whole internet. But let's say that what we want to do, we want to bring different segments of the market. Client A, for example, different clients. And what we do, we bring these clients through to our marketing funnel. And we have here, it's wide at the top and it gets more and more narrow. And typically at the top, we'll be bringing clients into the marketing funnel, for example, and they could be watching our videos, consuming our content, signing up for our newsletter, keeping up to date with what we do. And typically it will be free or nearly free at the top. And as we come further on down the marketing funnel, the price goes higher until we end up with, for example, in my case, one-on-one consulting, which is a higher value, higher price, personal attention. So how do we get clients into the marketing funnel? Well, we use a combination of paid search, for example. We specialize in Facebook advertising. Very, very powerful. Half the planet's on Facebook. Your prospective clients are on Facebook too. We just need to know how to capture them and push them through to the company website, from the company website through to the marketing funnel. We use things like retargeting. For example, they may come to the company website, they may disappear and go somewhere else, but we can use retargeting, for example, to bring them back and push them through the marketing funnel. Social media, Twitter, blogging, videos, etc. Can use to bring them there, and also organic search engine traffic could be used to bring customers through to the company websites or company pages. For example, we could set up specific company blogs. We could choose to push them to specific blogs and then through to the marketing funnel. But typically we use the company website as a center of attraction. So as we bring customers through from different methods to the company website, we will use retargeting so that we can say if they came to the website and they didn't go to our marketing funnel, we could bring them back. If they went to this stage of the marketing funnel, we could bring them back. If they went to this stage, we could look to bring them back. So it's very strategic and I'd say scientific as we look to bring customers with different methods through the marketing funnel and therefore generate higher revenues for the organization. So that's the process that we will use should we work together. So in summary, we will be working to this defined process map that I've developed over the years. And in summary, we'll be looking at the category marketing, market segmentation, and looking here at categorizing different products and services and looking at where in the market we're going to sell, business to business, business to consumer, and determining which marketing channels we'll be pushing those products and services through. That's the first aspect. Then we will be drawing your attention to clearly tying down the profile of your ideal client and thinking about purchaser, decision maker, and consumer. And you could go away and look at this now for yourself. Hope you find some value in this video, but really get this written down. And every day you'll be thinking about the purchaser, decision maker, and consumer. Who are we connecting to today in order to move our business forward? Search engine marketing, our presence within the digital marketing space. At the center of the attention, center of focus will be the company website, and we'll be looking to actually really ramp up activities in all these aspects. Ideally building an email database through providing value in search, social, articles, videos, images, and also driving people continue to the company website and through the marketing funnel, as we said before, and using retargeting to bring them back to actually nurture them through the process until they end up as paying clients. And remember, within digital, we want to further use segmentation. Whatever this is for your product or service and your organization, we want to be mindful that there are digital sub-channels that clients would be pushed through to get to the end user market stage in order to bring customers bring prospective clients into paying customer classifications. Digital sub-channels, market segments, and actually these are some of the tools that we use: blogging, content, linking, list building, etc., to bring them through. And remember what we want to be thinking about. We could go high volume, and in some cases we're just selling lots and lots and lots and lots and looking for volume, which is fair enough. In this case, we will be looking to build appropriate marketing strategies. In many cases, customers want to think about selling less and selling them at higher prices to affect the same volumes. So one thing to think about here is your price quantity paradigm or component of your overall marketing strategy. very, very powerful if we can bundle things with key products or services to create solutions to make them more unique, not easily copyable. So that means that when customers come to us, well, there's only one place they can go to get what they're looking for. And then there is the brand equity, which we want to focus on awareness, associations, customer loyalty, perceived quantity. This ties into market research, which we will get from keyword research, looking within social influencers within the marketplace, tied into developing products and services. Our products and services ties into market research. What exists in the marketplace already? Are we going to be completely unique, or are we going to take what's there, put a spin on it, and make it more unique within the marketplace? Brand equity. So there we are. That's the full rundown of what you will get when we work together. Everything will be documented. We will get together on the phone or in person as appropriate, thrash this out, work together, and provide real excellence so that you in turn will be providing excellence to your end user client. Thank you very much. I am Stephen C. Campbell. Thanks for watching. Please go ahead now, and should you wish to move further in the process, complete the survey attached to this video, and then we'll speak on the phone and we'll take it from there. Thanks very much for your time, and if we can be of assistance to you and your organization in any way, don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you very much.